town and start to read. 20 minutes in a day is all you need. Work together, adding miles up every day. J.J. Harris is traveling around the USA, reading our way across the USA. Reading our way across the USA. Reading our way across the USA. Reading our way across the USA.
Good morning, Tigers. It's Miss Melina. And now it's time for our Reading Our Way Across the USA update. Did we make it to the Toltec Indian Mounds in Arkansas? What's our next destination? Let's find out. Congratulations to 3rd grade, who had the highest number of reading minutes again this week. They read 6,830 minutes. Now that we're here, let's learn all about the Toltec Indian Mounds. Toltec Mounds Archaeological State Park, also known as Knapp Mounds, Toltec Mound Site, or Toltec Mounds, is an archaeological site from the late woodland period in Arkansas that protects an 18-mound complex with the tallest surviving prehistoric mounds in Arkansas. The site is on the banks of Mound Lake, an oxbow lake of the Arkansas River. It was occupied by its original inhabitants from 600 to 1050 CE. The site is designated as a National Historic Landmark. It's located in Scott, Arkansas, right here in the middle of the state. The reasoning behind the name the Knapp Mounds instead of the Toltec Indian Mounds stems from a 19th century mistake. Mrs. Gilbert Knapp, owner of the land from 1857 to 1900, thought the Toltecs had built the mounds. Investigations at the site by archaeologist Edward Palmer from the Smithsonian Institution's Bureau of American Ethnology in 1883 and by others since have proved that the indigenous ancestors of regional Native Americans had built these mounds and all other mounds within the present-day United States. They were part of mound-building cultures that flourished from the late Archaic period into the Protohistoric period. They built earthwork mounds for religious, political, and ceremonial purposes, connecting them to their cosmology. The people who built the mounds at the Toltec site had a culture distinct from other contemporary Native American groups in the Mississippi Valley. Mound groups such as this one were religious and social centers for people living in the surrounding countryside. The Toltec mounds had a small population made up of primarily political and religious leaders of the community and their families. This center was occupied from about 600 to 850 CE. Located on the banks of an oxbow lake, the archaeological site once had an 8 to 10 foot high and 5,298 foot long earthen embankment and ditch on 3 sides. The other side was the lake, now called Mound Pond. 18 mounds were built inside the high curving 1 mile embankment, and 2 were originally 38 and 49 feet high. Mounds were placed along the edges of 2 open areas which were used for political, religious, and social activities attended by people from the vicinity. At least 2 mounds were used for feasting, as indicated by discarded food remains. Deer were a favorite food. Mound locations seem to have been planned using principles based on the alignment with important solar positions and standardized units of measurement. Most of the mounds were flat-top platform mounds with buildings on them. Other Native Americans lived on the site in the 15th century, but they did not build the mounds. The site was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1978. Well, that's all we have for this week. Remember to read, read, read. Tell your friends we can't do it without them. Next week we're headed to the Chickasaw National Recreation Area in Oklahoma. We need to travel 327 miles to get there by next Monday. I know you can do it. Remember, you can check out where we've been and where we are now right outside the library. See you next week.